Hello children, today we will continue our second chapter, chapter 2, Nutrition in Animals. Our today's topic is the food pipe or esophagus, the stomach, the small intestine, absorption in the small intestine, large intestine, digestion in grass-eating animals, feeding and digestion in amoeba. In the last video, we learned that how food is broken down into smaller pieces in the mouth. The food which is swallowed enters into the food pipe or esophagus. You can see the picture of food pipe here. Food pipe or esophagus is a muscular tube. It is a long muscular tube. It connects the mouth and the stomach. Food is pushed into the stomach by the wave-like muscular movement of the esophagus. The food which is swallowed enters into the food pipe or esophagus. It runs along the neck and the chest. It is a hollow tube about 25 cm long, made up of muscles. Food is pushed down by the movement of the wall of the food pipe. No digestion takes place here. From the food pipe, the food enters the stomach. From the food pipe, the food enters the stomach. Sometimes or the other, you must have suffered from vomiting, right? Why this is happening? Did you ever think that? This is because at times the food is not accepted by the stomach and is vomited out. So that is about esophagus. Esophagus is a food pipe and it is a muscular tube that connects the mouth and the stomach. The stomach. Children, look at the picture given here. You can see the picture of stomach here. Before that, esophagus or food pipe, then stomach. Above this, liver, gallbladder and pancreas. So, let us discuss about the stomach. Stomach is a large sac-like muscular organ. It is a large sac-like muscular organ. It is J-shaped, present in the upper abdomen. It is located on the left side. Okay. It is a large sac-like muscular organ, or it is J-shaped, present in the upper abdomen. Then the walls of the stomach are lined with a membrane called mucosa. The mucosa secretes mucus which protects the inner lining of the stomach. What is mucosa? Mucosa is a membrane in the stomach. Okay. it secretes mucus which protects the inner lining of the stomach. Food is churned and made into paste in the stomach. Food becomes paste in the stomach. Okay. The glands present in the inner wall of the stomach secrete gastric juices. Okay. The glands present in the inner wall of the stomach secretes gastric juices. Let us see what are the roles of this gastric juices. The juice contain hydrochloric acid and pepsin. The hydrochloric acid acidifies food. If food has microorganisms, hydrochloric acid kills them. Okay. If food contains microorganism, hydrochloric acid kills the microorganism. Okay. Now pepsin begins the digestion of proteins. Pepsin begins the digestion of proteins. Okay. We know that in the last video we learned that carbohydrates breaks down into sugar with the help of amylase secreted by saliva. Similarly, pepsin begins the digestion of proteins. Okay. Pepsin begins the digestion of proteins. Amylase helps in the digestion of carbohydrates. Similarly, pepsin begins the digestion of proteins. Okay. The action of the gastric juice and churning of the stomach changes food into a semi-digested food called chyme. Okay. The action of the gastric juice and churning of the stomach changes the food into semi-digested food, partially digested food called chyme. The chyme leaves the stomach and enters the small intestine. After become food into paste, that is called chyme. The chyme leaves the stomach about small intestine and enters, see the picture given here, the small intestine. The small intestine is a long coiled narrow tube about 7.5 meter long. It is a long tube about 7.5 meter long. It is located in the middle of the abdomen. It is located in the middle of the abdomen. Digestion of food is completed here. Digestion of food completed in the small intestine. The small intestine receives digestive juices secreted by the liver and the pancreas. Okay, the digestive juices secreted by liver and pancreas. See the second picture given here. This is liver. Okay, this reddish brown color organ is liver. Below that you can see the cream color organ, that is pancreas. Liver is the largest gland of our body. It is reddish brown in color and is situated on the right side on the upper abdomen. It secretes bile juice which helps in the digestion of fats. It secretes bile juice which helps in the digestion of fats. Bile is stored in an organ called gallbladder. Can you see the blue color organ here? See, that is gallbladder. Bile juice secreted by the liver is stored in the gallbladder. The gallbladder is connected to the liver with the bile duct. Gallbladder is connected to the liver with the bile duct. Similarly, this pancreas. Pancreas is a cream colored gland located between the stomach and the first part of the small intestine. It produces pancreatic juice which acts on the carbohydrates, proteins and fats and helps in their breakdown into simpler forms. This pancreatic juice helps the breakdown of carbohydrates, fats and proteins into simpler form. The partially digested food reaches the lower part of the small intestine. The intestinal juices complete the process of digestion. The carbohydrates are broken down into sugars, proteins into amino acids and fats into fatty acids and glycerols. Okay, so let us discuss once again. The small intestine is a long and narrow coiled tube connected to the stomach. Okay, the bile juice helps the digestion of fats. From where bile juice comes? Bile juice are secreted by liver and it is stored in the gallbladder. Okay. Now pancreatic juice breaks down carbohydrates, proteins and fats into simple substances. Starch or carbohydrates present in the food such as potato, rice and wheat break down into glucose. Glucose is a kind of sugar. Proteins present in the food items such as pulses, milk and fish are complex substances. They are broken into amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins. Fats present in the food items such as butter, oil, milk and meat are complex substances. They are broken into simple fatty acids. Digestion of food begins in the mouth and ends in the small intestine. Besides glucose, amino acids and fatty acids, the digested food also contains minerals and vitamins. So, digestion of food begins in the mouth and ends in the small intestine. Okay. See the pictures given here. Intestine is divided into two, that is small intestine and large intestine. Small intestine we already discussed. Next is absorption and assimilation of food. We already learned that a digestion completed in the small intestine, that is complex substances breaks down into simple substances. So body has to transport this simple substances to every part of the or other part of the body. So how it done? It is the absorption. What is absorption? See, absorption is the process whereby digested food pass into the blood vessels in the intestinal wall. The nutrients present in the digested food are then absorbed by the finger-like projections on the inner wall of the small intestine. See the picture. See, you can see a finger-like projections that is called villi. The inner walls of the small intestine have finger-like projections called villi. Okay, these villi are richly supplied with blood vessel. They are richly supplied with very fine blood vessels called capillaries. Okay. The surface of the villi absorb the digested nutrients, which are then transported through the blood vessels to the different organs where they are utilized to build proteins and other complex substances. This is called assimilation. The absorption of digested food and its utilization by the body is known as assimilation. Okay. What do you mean by absorption? Absorption is the process of simple substances that are obtained from the food pass into the blood present in this blood vessels. This process is called absorption. Okay. The inner walls of the small intestine have finger-like projections called villi. These villi are richly supplied with blood vessels, that is capillaries. All these simple substances, which are the simple substances here? Glucose, amino acids, fatty acids and vitamins that are obtained from the food pass into the blood present in these blood vessels. This process is called absorption, and the absorption of digested food and its utilization by the body is known as assimilation. Now last is large intestine. That is, the large intestine is a broader and shorter than the small intestine. It is a broad and shorter than small intestine. Its main function is to absorb water and some salt from the undigested food material. Once again, the large intestine is about 1.5 meter long. Its main function is to absorb water and some salt from the undigested food materials. The undigested waste from the large intestine passes into the rectum. The waste remains here as semi-solid feces. The fecal matter is passed out through an opening called anus. This process is called ejection. Okay. The undigested waste from the large intestine pass through the rectum. The waste remains here as semi-solid feces. The fecal matter is passed out through an opening called the anus. This process is called ejection. In the next slide, you can watch the video of digestion of human.
Digestion in human beings. Human beings take food through mouth and digest it in specific organs for digestion. The undigested food is defecated. The food we take passes through a specific canal which begins with buccal cavity and ends at the anus. This canal is called alimentary canal or the digestive tract. The parts of the alimentary canal are buccal cavity, esophagus, stomach, large intestine, small intestine, rectum, and anus. The food gets digested gradually as it passes through the various parts of the tract. Digestive juices secreted by the salivary glands, liver, and pancreas also aid digestion. Mouth and the buccal cavity. Food intake in human beings is through mouth. This process of taking food is called ingestion. Chewing food is very necessary for proper digestion as digestion process starts in the mouth itself. What happens during chewing? The large pieces of food we eat are mechanically broken down into small pieces. Teeth helps us in doing so. Action of saliva on food. During chewing, food mixes with saliva. Saliva is secreted from salivary glands located on the lower jaw between the tongue and teeth. Saliva converts starch in the food into sugars and also softens the food. Tongue. Taste of food can be detected by the taste buds present on the tongue. Tongue is a fleshy muscular organ attached to the floor of the buccal cavity. It is free at the front and moves in all directions. Taste buds appear as small bumps on the tongue and have different regions which help us enjoy different tastes. Esophagus or food pipe. The swallowed food from the mouth passes onto the esophagus. The epiglottis, which is a flap-like structure behind the tongue, directs the food into the esophagus and prevents entry into the larynx. The peristaltic movements of the esophagus helps the food to move down the tract till it reaches the stomach. Stomach. Stomach is a bag-like structure with thick wall. It is in the shape of a flattened U and is the widest part in the alimentary canal. The food that enters the stomach is churned and mixes with the mucus. Hydrochloric acid and digestive juices secreted by the inner lining of the stomach. The acid helps to kill the bacteria present in the food. It also makes the medium in the stomach acidic. The digestive juices secreted by the stomach break down proteins into simpler substances. Then the food is emptied into small intestine. Small intestine. Small intestine is a highly coiled structure and is about 7.5 meters long. As soon as the small intestine receives food from the stomach, the digestive juices from liver and pancreas are mixed into it. Liver. Liver is the largest gland in the human body and is situated in the upper side of the abdomen. To the right, it is reddish-brown in color. It secretes bile, which breaks down fats. Bile is stored in gallbladder between meals. Pancreas. Pancreas is a leaf-shaped and cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. It secretes pancreatic juice, which acts and breaks down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. After this is completed, the partially digested food reaches the lower part of the small intestine, where intestinal juices act upon the food and completes digestion of any remaining components in food. The carbohydrates in the food break down into sugars like glucose, fats into fatty acids, and glycerol, and proteins into amino acids. The food consumed is digested and is now ready to be absorbed into the blood. Absorption of food in the small intestine. The inner wall of the small intestine has finger-like projections called villi, which have a network of thin blood vessels close to the surface. The villus increases the surface area of absorption and absorbs the digested food materials. The substances thus absorbed are transported through the bloodstream to different organs in the body and are used to build complex substances like proteins. This process is called assimilation. In the cells, glucose breaks down into carbon dioxide and water with the help of oxygen and releases energy. The undigested and unabsorbed food enters the large intestine. Large intestine. The large intestine is wider than small intestine and measures 1.5 meters in length. Once the undigested food enters the large intestine, it absorbs water and some salts from it and passes the remaining waste into the rectum. Here it remains as semi-solid fecus. The fecal matter is removed through the anus. This is called egestion.
Digestion in grass-eating animals. Herbivores eat mainly grass or green plants. Have you ever seen a cow eating grass? The cow, buffalo, horse, etc. keep chewing continuously even when they are not eating. Herbivorous animals such as cows, deer, goats, buffaloes, camels and yaks can digest cellulose. Cellulose is a kind of carbohydrate present in leaves. These animals, they can digest the cellulose. It is a kind of carbohydrates because they have a specialized digestive system. These grass eating animals have a specialized digestive system. These animals have four-chambered stomach. They also have esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, like human digestive system. But their stomach is divided into four. Okay, these animals have four-chambered stomach. First is rumen. Second one, reticulum. Third one, omasum. And fourth one, abomasum. These grass-eating animals have four-chambered stomach. First one is rumen, second one is reticulum, third omasum, and fourth abomasum. The first chamber is called rumen. See, it is situated here, rumen. Herbivores swallow their food after chewing once and store it in the rumen. Once these animals chewed their food, it stored this food in the rumen. While when the animal is resting, this food is called, it is partially digested in the rumen and it again brought back into the mouth in small lumps and chewed it again. Okay. This process is called rumination. The animals are called ruminants. Understood? Once again, herbivores swallow their food after chewing once and store it in the rumen. Here, the food gets partially digested and is called cud. When the animal is resting, the cud is brought back into the mouth in small lumps and chewed. This process is called rumination. The animals are called ruminants. From the rumen, the food passes through the other two chambers before it reaches the fourth chamber of the stomach. The hydrochloric acid and gastric juices secreted in these chambers digest the proteins. The cellulose of the grass is then digested in the cecum. You can watch the video of digestion in grass eating animals in the next slide.
Unlike humans, all grass-eating animals have a special stomach with 4 chambers, namely rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. Let's see the process of digestion in grass-eating animals. The animals quickly swallow the grass and store it in rumen, the first chamber of the stomach. In the rumen, the food gets partially digested. The partially digested food is called cud. The cud is pushed into the reticulum, the second chamber of the stomach, and from here it is sent back into the mouth for thorough chewing. The process of chewing the cud is called rumination, and animals which chew the cud are called ruminants. The rechewed food is swallowed and sent into the omasum, the third and the smallest chamber of the stomach, to absorb excess water from the food. In the omasum, the food is broken down to even smaller pieces. This is then sent to the last chamber, abomasum, which is also called the true stomach. The digested food then goes into the small intestine, where absorption of nutrients takes place. A large sac-like structure called cecum, present between the small intestine and large intestine, also contain bacteria that help in the digestion of cellulose, a carbohydrate that is present in grass. So, you now know why cattle keep chewing all the time.
Feeding and digestion in amoeba. We know that amoeba is a microscopic single-celled organism found in pond water. Amoeba has a cell membrane, a rounded dense nucleus, and many bubble-like vacuoles in its cytoplasm. Amoeba has a cell membrane, rounded dense nucleus, many bubble-like vacuoles in its cytoplasm. It constantly changes its shape and position. That is, amoeba can change its shape as well as position. It has projections on its body called pseudopodia. It has projection or false feet which help in capturing food and in movement. It pushes out one or more finger-like projections called pseudopodia or false feet for movement and capture of food. Now let us see how it takes food. The amoeba senses food. The amoeba senses food particles, moves towards it and engulfs it. That is called injection. Amoeba senses food particles and moves towards it and engulfs it. What do you mean by what is the meaning of engulfs? To cover or surround it. To cover it. Okay? It covers the food particles. A food vacuole that is formed around the engulfed food particles contains digestive juices which break down the food particle into simple substances. Okay, the food vacuole. Now food is inside the food vacuole. It contains digestive juices which break down the food particles into simple substances. This food vacuole contains digestive juices which help the breakdown of food particles into simple substances. This process is called digestion. The amoeba uses these substances. The digested food is absorbed and assimilated and the amoeba grows in size. Then the undigested food is thrown out by the vacuole. The undigested food finally thrown out by the vacuole. This is the way how the amoeba takes food. The basic process of digestion of food and release of energy is the same in all animals, though the mode of nutrition and digestion differs from animal to animal. You can watch the video of feeding and digestion in amoeba in the next slide.
Feeding and digestion in amoeba. Nutrition in amoeba. We can easily see animals like cow, goat, horse, rabbit. It takes some efforts to see animals like ant, mosquitoes. There are some organisms which we cannot see with only eyes. We need special instrument called microscope to view them. These organisms are called microorganisms. Amoeba is a microorganism which have only single cell body. It is found in pond water. It does not have a fixed shape like other organisms. In that sense, it is interesting to know how it obtains its food. Let's understand it. Ingestion. Method of taking food inside the body is called ingestion. Amoeba moves continuously. Whenever it senses the food particle, it spreads a finger-like structures around the particle. These structures are called pseudopodia. These are the false feet of amoeba. Amoeba encircles the pseudopodia around food particle and takes it inside its body. We say that amoeba engulf the food. It results in formation of food vacuole which contain food particles. Digestion. The cell contains jelly-like liquid called cytoplasm. From cytoplasm, digestive enzymes are secreted in the food vacuole. These enzymes act on the food particle and convert them into simpler substances. Absorption. The simpler substances get diffused into the cytoplasm. This is called absorption. The undigested waste remain in the food vacuole. Assimilation. The food entering in cytoplasm is used for energy, growth, maintenance, and multiplication. This is called assimilation. Excess food is stored as glycogen and fats. Egestion. The undigested waste is taken near the cell membrane and then thrown outside the cell body by rupturing, that is, cutting the membrane. This is called egestion. Visit learnfatafit.com for more such interesting videos. You can now download Learn Fatafit Android app for better learning. You can also buy your favorite course in the form of DVD, pen drive, SD card or tablet phone.
We have completed the second chapter. We will discuss the question answers through WhatsApp. If you have any doubt regarding this chapter, ask the doubts through WhatsApp. Thank you.